and welcome back to the channel. So in last few videos we discussed about various HTML tags. In this video we'll discuss about few more HTML tags and learn how to create basic HTML form. So here I am in Sublime Text Editor and this is the general structure of HTML document. The first tag that we will discuss today will allow you to insert images on your web page, and the tag used for it is called as image tag, and its syntax includes start img tag and end img tag. The start img tag has a fixed attribute which is called as source, which is written as src, and then in equals to and double quote we write the file name or the image name that we want to insert on our web page. While writing the image name, take care of the extensions and the symbols that you use because they play a very important role. So here I am writing the image name as logo and then in capital .jpg. And another attribute that is associated with this tag is alt attribute, which simply specifies the alternate statement that should be displayed when your image is not loaded by the browser due to so and so reasons. So here I have written that statement as error in image loading, and now I'll go and refresh the web page to see how this works. So after refreshing the web page, you can see image is loaded and it has occupied the maximum space available to it. Now if I want to change the dimensions of the image, I can use attributes like width and height, and I can specify them as per my requirement. So I'm writing width as 250 pixels and height as 300 pixels. When you don't specify width and height separately, they are considered as equal. But here I am specifying them separately, so they will be considered as per their real values. And now I'll go and refresh the web page to see how the image looks, and it has been minimized. So this is how img tag works. Now moving towards the next tag that we will discuss today is anchor tag. Anchor tag is responsible for the various links that are present on the web page, and you can create your own link using this tag. This tag has start a tag and end a tag, and the start a tag has a fixed attribute href, which is called as hyperreference, and in this you write your link. So here I am specifying the link of Google search engine, and in between the start and end a tag I am writing the statement that will be displayed in place of the link. So now I am refreshing the web page and you can see here is the link for the search engine of Google. So this is how anchor tag works. Now we will create, or we will write the link for the Facebook as well in the same way. So I'll start by writing start a tag and then href, then in equals to the link for the Facebook, that is https://www.facebook.com, and then the statement that I want to be displayed on my web page, that is go to FB, and then I'll close the a tag with end a tag. And here I am using the attribute called as target because it is responsible for diverting the user to that particular document. Now if I don't specify the target here, it will open the Facebook on the same frame or the same page. But as I'm writing it as _blank, it will take me to the new tab. As you can see on the right side, I am diverted to the new tab when I click on the Facebook link, but not for the Google. Google search engine is open in the same frame or on the same page. Now here I'm adding break tag so that this looks more sorted, and now you can see how the Facebook link works and how the Google link work. So this is all about anchor tag in HTML. Now we will start by creating a basic HTML form. Here is the general HTML document. I am naming it as form and giving heading in the body tag as HTML form. Now the most important tag that we use while creating an HTML form is a form tag, and it includes start form tag and end form tag, and the entire content of the form, various input fields are present in between the start and end form tag. So here I am creating an input field as first name, and it will accept a single line text response from the user which will include his or her name. So here that's why I have mentioned input type as text. Now another important attribute that is associated with start form tag is action, and action attribute specifies where to send the response once user clicks on the submit button. So action attribute is generally a URL or PHP file and here I am naming that PHP file as backend.php. Now again I am creating another input field which will accept the last name from the user, and again it will be of type text. Here I am using name attribute because if you omit the name attribute, your response will not be submitted. Now I'll go and refresh the web page, and you can see there are two fields, name as first name and last name, and you can enter your response over there. Now let's add few break tags so that form looks more sorted, and again I'll refresh the web page. So this is how our HTML form looks right now. Now talking about the name attribute, if you omit it, your response is not submitted because name attribute is used for future reference or the backend reference once you submit the data. Now here I am creating an input field to accept the email ID from the user, and the important thing to note here is input type will not be text here because it's not a text, it's an email. So input type will be email, which will allow you to enter various special symbols that will be part of your email ID. And you can see it has been added to our form. Now if I want to accept a multiple line response, multiple line text response from the user, then what should I do? So here I am creating an input field as description, which will have a multiple line text response, and here we can use tag call as text area, which allows you to accept the multiple line response from the user, which can be review or feedback, and its dimensions are specified in the form of rows and columns. So if you want a very big response, then you can visualize it in the form of rows and columns and then allocate a space. So here I have allocated number of rows as 4, columns as 35, name is again description because if I don't write name, my response will not be submitted. And that's it for description tag, description input field, and again refreshing the web page, and you can see how this looks. So exactly like 4 rows and 35 columns. Now if I want to accept this much details from the user, I'll need to enter a submit button or insert a submit button. So let's create a submit button first, for which we need to specify input type as submit because it's not going to be text, it's going to be button. So input type as submit, and its name will be submit button. So there will be a button like stuff on your screen right there. When you click on it, your response will be submitted. So you can see it is there, and this is how it looks. And now we will discuss about few more types of input that can be accepted from the user using HTML. Let's assume a situation where I want to accept gender from the user, and I want the gender options to be represented as checkboxes, and user must be allowed to select only one option at a time. So in this scenario, we can use input type as radio. So here I have created an input field as a gender, and it has a male as an option for a gender, which has input type as a radio, because the radio input type will allow me to represent options as checkboxes. And there are high chances that these 2-3 lines of code will not work properly, and I want you people to guess that why is it so, why it will not work properly. And if you have watched this video till here, you will be easily able to answer the question. So here I have provided the 3 options for the input field gender, and let's see what we get in the output. So now after adding the break tag here, I'm going to the web page and refreshing it, and you can see we are able to select multiple options. Though there are checkboxes, but I am able to select 3 options, all the 3 options. But this is not practically possible, right? And this is happening because we haven't provided the name attribute. And as I told you earlier, if we don't provide or if we omit the name attribute, our response is not submitted to the browser, and there is no future reference for that particular submitted response. So now I'm associating all these 3 options with the input field gender by providing the name as gender, and now this will work completely fine. Let us know in the comment section if you guessed it right. And now after refreshing the web page, you can see I'm able to select only one option for the genders, which means it's working completely fine right now. Now, if I want to give a drop-down list for the gender and not the checkboxes, then I can use tag select. So select tag is used to create a drop-down list, and it has a start select tag and end select tag, and of course it has a name attribute. Now you know why the name attribute is important. And to provide the options for this drop-down list, we use option tag. And option tag has a fixed attribute value, and value attribute is used to specify that what data should be sent to the server when user clicks on that particular option. So the line of code written here simply means that select tag has first option as male, and when user clicks on this option, value male should be sent to the server because I have provided value name as male. Similarly, I'll do it for female and the other gender. Here, one more additional attribute is present in the code, which is selected. And as it simply says selected, it is used to define the pre-selected element for that particular drop-down menu. So here I have pre-selected basically all the three options, but only the other one will be pre-selected when the page loads because code runs line by line, and the last line of the code says select other. So you can see other is the pre-selected option here, and you get the drop-down menu. Now let's add a gender word in the code because we are really not aware what we are selecting from the drop-down menu. So here I'm adding gender and then break tag, and let's refresh the web page. This looks much better. Now I'm able to select gender from the drop-down list. Now, if I want to accept a particular kind of file from the user as an input, like image or audio, then I can use input as file, which means now user can insert particular file and provide a name to this input type. And most important attribute here is accept, which means here you're allowed to specify the format of the file that you want to accept from the user. Here I have specified it as an image. So take care of the syntax. Here it has a backslash and asterisk while specifying the format. Now here I am adding a break tag because it was not looking sorted. Let's refresh again, and now it looks good. So here I am able to insert file now, which is an image. Thank you for watching the video till the end. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoyed watching the video, give it a big thumbs up and share with your friends.